County Commission meeting will be starting in just a few minutes. Here's your agenda. It's been updated, and it will be updated again tonight, I was just told. They're going to pull an item on this agenda. Anyway, this is what they're talking about. And there's your county commissioners right there on the bottom. Here's your agenda, and seated from left to right will be Alan Weaver, Brad Calhoun, current chair Dana Whitten, Joe Burgess, Nick Denham. Joe is not yet here, and the county attorney will be sitting there at the other corner, and that's Latrice wearing green. She's the county clerk. Be starting in just a few minutes.
Need to add the superintendent. She's wanting to be a speaker as well. She was supposed to be on the bed and talk about the caution. Chrissy, right? Is that part of the meeting?
When she got out,
Okay, thank you.
but I'm just trying to do the math.
How are you?
She about got anything about your.
Yeah, about an hour ago. She can't come Tuesday or Thursday, so I'll shoot it out.
So how much of, against the law?
No,
I was gonna cook, but I
not in the world.
Okay, well, that's what I was wondering, because outside,
Oh, I know, I get it. Nothing else will hype up Halloween and senior night and
Okay.
things going on in the community. I'll take care of it.
I don't mind doing it
No,
another
no,
day.
no, not a problem. I try not to send the road.
Yeah. It's like, how big a deal is it?
Nice.
Like,
she tell you already. No, we had a meeting already today. It's unlikely. We need the blue hairs. The no hair. I got it. 9:30? I think we're gonna have to learn how to do it. Just raise and put me on the spot.
Thank you, ma'am.
She wouldn't be out of myself.
Wide and two inches. Good to see you, sir. We'll say that.
All right, 6 o'clock, I wanna call this meeting to order. Ben, would you be kind enough to do the invocation, please?
Ma'am, Lord, we come before you on this day and we give you thanks for everything in our lives, that which you've given, that which you've kept away. And we pause right now to pray, especially for people in Jamaica who are about to face a storm of just incredible proportions, Lord. Keep them safe. Let them know that they can rebuild, and let them know that you are with them in any way, shape, and form that they need you to be, Lord. Thank you for the rain for our farmers. Please continue to give them what they need. Watch over those in public safety. And as always, we ask you, grant this board tonight to make the right decisions in your sight, so this would be a community you're proud of. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And as far as adoption of the agenda, gentlemen, there are 2 changes. We'll be adding a number 4 and under speakers. The superintendent will be talking about the caution lights. And in general discussion, item 3 will be deleted. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Really?
Have a second?
Second.
We have a a motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor? Alright, item 5, approval of financial information for July of 2025. Do I have a motion? I have a motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor? Approval of minutes for September the 2nd, September the 5th, September the 16th, and September the 30th of 2025. Do I have a motion? Second? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Public comments. So our first speaker is Sheriff Hester on the dog kennels. Oh, excuse me, public comments on anything on the agenda. I apologize, Sheriff. No? Okay, item 1 under speakers is the dog kennels. Sheriff Hester, the floor is yours.
So I don't have to go through a whole lot of it, y'all already know the problem that we're having, housing the animals. So I'm gonna look for some money in my budget to try to go forward with building some dog kennels. I got a price on them. I've gotta get a price on some concrete to be poured, but, the other day, myself and Dustin was back there trying to clear out our, runoff that runs through our parking lot to the back. It wouldn't run off. So anyway, we were back there in those woods behind the office, between the office and the buildings that are back there. And there used to be a road back there. It's pretty high. It's actually higher than the property the jail sits on down through there. And if I could, get the board's permission to use that section of, property right through there, I can clean that up and put the kennels back there and get them off of where the jail sits. And I don't wanna put that by the firing ranges. We have other agencies in the state come to use our firing range, so if we could utilize that piece of land right behind the office, it's woods, it's been there for as long as I've been alive, I'm sure. I have never seen anything done with it other than it grow up. So if I could get the board's permission to utilize that, I'm gonna try to clean it up. And, if the board could put some money towards the dog kennels, I'd be grateful. If not, I'm gonna try to get some other resources to continue to build the dog kennels. We need about 15 of them. Will probably get us by, hopefully till I retire, and then, somebody else can worry about the dogs and the kennels. But for right now, that's my responsibility, so I need to do something to keep us, to put the dogs until we can carry them to, right now we're utilizing Chris County. And, as long as they go take our dogs after that period of time, we're gonna continue to use them. So I just need y'all's blessing on, using that piece of land right behind the office. And also, like I said, if you can find some money to put toward it, that'd be great. If not, I'm gonna find some somewhere.
Where's it? The school used to have the pine trees right there. We used to do Georgia Forestry and the pine trees all the way.
That's down towards this way.
It's on this side of the, I had never been in it.
It's right behind the office. It's between the office and that first building that used to be, Engineer Stone or whatever it was up there. It's that little piece of land right there. There's actually a ditch down there. It's probably 11 feet deep.
Down to that pond.
Yeah, well, no, it runs down the creek that goes down in front of, or behind the road department. It goes to that creek. What it looks like they did was they, dug that so that the water would not shed down onto the jail property, and it goes into that 11-foot ditch and goes down.
It's catching all the water coming.
It's catching all the water, but then on
From
the
there.
jail side of it is a high area there, which I can utilize to put the dog kennels on. And then it drops back down again into a smaller creek, but it runs the other way. And if you'd ever, when they built that, evidently they dug a ditch to keep the watershed out of that hole that it's built in, but there's a high spot back there that I can utilize to put those.
Don't get there.
Used to be a road there, it's grown up. I gotta have to, get a piece of equipment. I can utilize some of road department stuff, but I'll probably have to get some, a mulcher and go back there and mulch that path back out, cause there's some pretty sizable trees back there. But I wanna leave some of them, cause the shade would be better for those animals than sitting out in the sun like we have them now. We'll put a shelter over them, but that shade will help cool in the summertime, where it's hot and we have to put fans on them now, so. Alright. Thank you.
Alright, number number 2 is the forestry update. Mr. Freak? Hey, Bruce, floor is yours.
I won't take it too long. Try not to anyway. First of all, I'd like to thank you for your time, and the ability to come here and present our annual report for last year. Also want to thank you for your continued support, Forestry Commission. Together with your emergency services, I think we're saving lives, property, and protecting some of our resources. So with that, at present we have 4 personnel. Our permits that were last year's permits, we had 187 agricultural permits for 2,400 acres. We had 249 silviculture permits for 5,545 acres. 115 land clearing permits for 227 acres. Total permits, 551 for 8,172 acres. We assisted 13 landowners with, on burn assist, and that was about 1,022 acres. Our fire breaks for the last year, we had 14 plowed breaks for 14 different landowners, 68.6 miles. We had 43 herring jobs for different landowners, 391 miles, total 459.6 miles. Wildfires that we responded to were 9, total 45.57 acres. The 5-year average is 17.60 fires with 80.60 acres. The average fire size in Turner County is 5.29 acres. We sell tree seedlings, and those we sold 3,050. Public education outreach programs, there was 4 programs such as fire department, schools, local governments, and we presented and reaching 28 different people. Currently our equipment we have designated, it's a little different here. Tift and Turner are combined. We have an office in Tift, we have an office in Turner. Right now, we've shut down Tift office and all the equipment is in Turner. And that's, well, we did move one down to Tift. So we have a total of 4 tractor plows and 2 Type 7 suppression units. Forest management assistance, we had 94 different cases, forest health, stewardship, conservation programs, water quality, things like that. That's all I got. Got any questions?
How much is y'all charge to plow fire breaks?
What they charge by the hour is, I think it's $2.30 for the first hour. They have a transport charge that they incorporate, so it's $2.30 for the first and then about $160 after.
Any other questions? Thank you, Bruce. Speaker 3 is on the Nature and Wellness Trail, Miss Crystal Collins. Crystal, floor is yours.
So I'm here today to ask that you commissioners, if you would please reconsider applying for the Walking Trail grant. I truly believe this project would be a tremendous opportunity and a lasting asset to our community. I'm a proud parent of 3 children who have all played sports for Turner County through both the rec department and the schools. My oldest has already graduated, but my other 2 are middle school athletes, student athletes. This year my son decided to run cross country, and that was a new one for us. Had to learn all the ins and outs of that. And that's when I first learned about this grant opportunity through one of the coaches. Attending this cross-country meets, I saw firsthand how valuable a well-designed trail can be. I believe that a walking and running trail here in Turner County would give our student athletes a safe, well-maintained place to train. It would also create new revenue for the county by allowing us to possibly host our own cross-country meets here. At most of the meets we attended, there was a parking fee, there was concessions available, and food trucks would come in. Teams and families also would stop at local restaurants afterwards for lunch, get gas, shop the local shops, all of which brought business to those communities, and Turner County could benefit in the same way. Beyond athletics, a walking trail would serve our entire community. It would support both mental and physical health by providing a safe, accessible place for exercise. With our local gym recently closing, this trail would give citizens of all ages a new opportunity to stay active. Currently, our county has very few sidewalks, and many of those are cracked or unsafe for walking and running. A well-lit, well-maintained trail would help keep our residents healthy and safe. This project would also help strengthen community involvement. There's already a small group of us who meet on Wednesday mornings to walk, and I believe that this trail could help grow that group and create more groups. It's about creating a space where people can connect, exercise, and take pride in our community. I've seen the proposed layout of the trail, and it's absolutely beautiful. With our new school in town, it feels like the perfect time to continue improving other areas of Turner County to draw in visitors and revenue. Thank you for your time and consideration. I sincerely ask that you continue to pursue the Walking Trail Grant and make this investment in health, safety, and the future of Turner County citizens for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Speaker number 4 is Superintendent Ray on the caution lights.
It's already been party.
Oh, and then McCready. Chief McCready, sorry.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to come and speak to you today on behalf of Turner County Schools. As you know, we built the new middle school, high school that we are very proud of. However, the road that's in front and beside it has a lot of students that are traveling on that road, walking, whether it's before school or after school. We have up to 40 to 50 kids at any given time after extracurricular and athletic events. As you can imagine, that's a safety concern, significant safety concern for us. So we're coming to you today, obviously we own the property, we do not own the roads, and so we're coming to you today to participate in possibly a caution light, some type of safety program, that you could put some lights out there to help drivers be more aware of the fact that they're in the school zone. We've already looked into some quotes. Officer did that for me, and I appreciate that, and we're looking at about $15,000. We can speak to that more in detail, but that gives you some information about what we're here today asking for on our behalf.
Good evening, everybody. Excuse, advise I'm Officer McCurdy with the Board of Education Police. Just a few, quick, points to, maybe utilize, what the lights will be utilized for. Number one, it would increase visibility, flashing lights will draw attention to the school zones, and also by putting the lights out there, it would be allowed, I sit out there in the mornings with my lights on now. To get us some lights out there, allow me to get into the school to where the kids are actually out in the road in my car, trying to slow cars down. Also, it enhance student safety, lower speeds, risk of severity of accidents. It would usually as a clear enforcement tool, lights would provide a clear indicator when to reduce the speed for local and out-of-town people. That's an accident prevention. Again, reduce speed while school hours and school kids are out there. Support crossing guards and staff. Like I said, it would again slow down the vehicles for the safety of the students crossing, and peace of mind for parents. Parents feel more secure when there are added protections during school hours. Also, while there'll be a cost and upkeep are important considerations in the price of things, but the safety and benefits to our children, peace of mind to parents and community make school zone flashing lights a strong tool for enhancing traffic safety in the school areas. Like Superintendent stated, I have a quote in hand. We would like to put 2 lights on Industrial somewhere around Donna and then just above Madison, catching them going up and down around Lake Sweden. And then just beyond the hill on Madison, like going back towards, 41, toward the police department. As they coming over that crest and that hill, you can't see the kids crossing right there. And we don't have the manpower to put somebody at all these spots. So the flashing lights and school zone safety is a big concern when it comes to the kids walking. We probably got 15 or 20 walk Madison back towards town. And then we got Ashton Place, Village Green, and the one on Sylvia. Kids cross right there around Lake Sweden. And like I said, it would free up us officers to be in more important places. Coming, as the kids are coming out of the building and going into the building and exiting the buses, that's where we normally have most of our problems, is when the kids are in big groups. So freeing us up to be in them places would be a great help to us. And if y'all would, graciously partner with us, we would greatly appreciate it.
So Christie, are you asking for the county to invest in these lights?
Yes, we've actually approached the county and the city, so this is actually our second meeting. So we would hope that both entities together would collaborate for this meeting purpose.
And how much are you looking for specifically?
It's 15,000 total, so we haven't gotten a number from the city, but in that conversation, I would hope that to be equally split between the two.
It's in the city.
But it is in the city.
You said industrial, but you
From
went that far down,
good.
and you wasn't going that far down then.
No, it was,
Right a bit.
yeah.
So it's all within the city limits, right? Anybody else have any questions?
I think it's a great idea.
I know, I'm 100% supportive of protecting our students.
Absolutely.
And I know coming down Hudson, man, people can haul through there if they're not thinking.
They do.
So, okay, thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Thank y'all for your consideration.
On to new business. Consideration to approve board appointment for Ms. Janice Massey to the library board. I have spoke to Ms. Janice and she is willing to once again serve in that role. Does anyone have any other recommendations for that position?
To approve Ms. Janice Massey to the library board.
So a motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor? Item 2, consider to approve agreement for technical assistance services between Turner County and the Southern Regional Commission and authorize the chair to sign agreement on behalf of the county.
This is on the website, this is so they can see the zoning, that's what this is,
This is part of the effort to add the layers to see
Zoning.
everything from utilities to zoning, anything that could support business growth and different types of opportunity zones we can add to this. So if you're not familiar with opportunity zones, that's something that was started at the federal level during, President Trump's first administration. Basically, these are zones that get special consideration for businesses to come in and help communities thrive that in otherwise wouldn't be able to offer such opportunities. So it's a good thing.
main thing it does zoning.
It does.
That's
The zoning, it helps the cities with their utilities infrastructure leveling, so it's various layers of information. The schools possibly could use the information for certain things.
$1,000 a year.
So it's a relatively inexpensive cost. Now, if we add modules, that adds to the cost if we want to expand the purposes, but right now it's pretty reasonable. So do I have a motion? Do
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor? So moved. All right, item 3, consideration to purchase GXS 120 hammer for Public Works in the amount of $38,000. Do I have a motion?
I think we ought to just take a better look at renting one. We don't have that many places that need fixed. Once they're fixed, we'll have no use for that machine.
Did
And
Dustin look into?
And they don't bring much on the sale.
Did you look into, Dustin look into seeing if anybody did this service?
I've looked into it, I talked to some people that I thought would be cheaper than most, and they said it'd be 3 times as much as we can do it for. Cause they would have to haul in dirt, haul all it off, they would have to rent the equipment, but they don't have it either.
Right. How long would you need to rent this for?
I say, we can rent one for a week, knock out a road, and then do that, and the stuff that builds up between that week, we can take another week after that to fix all the other stuff around the county. Just get it at times.
Okay, so I would ask that you bring us a schedule of your priorities of roads so we can look at it, cause there's a couple of roads that we've had continuous issues with that I think need to be the priority up front. So is that your motion, Nick? Are you making that motion? That we rent it?
Yeah, that we keep the numbers on renting it.
When we need it.
When we need it, right? Okay, so we have a motion and a second to authorize Public Works to rent this hammer, and incrementally attack the roads as based on a schedule that the public works director will provide us. Is there any discussion?
Not necessarily this hammer, just rent.
Rent a hammer.
Equipment,
Yeah, piece
like
of.
we have in the past.
Is there any other discussion? All in favor? So moved. Right. Alright, item 4, consideration to approve executive session minutes for Tuesday, September 2nd, and Tuesday, September 30th, and I believe on the 2nd, there's 2 executive session minutes for that evening.
So,
A motion and a second, any discussion? All's in favor? So carries. Alright, general discussion, discuss grants for Turner County. So this is something that I wanted to bring up. There's been lots of back and forth behind the scenes on the grants that were briefed to us in August. And so, based on feedback from, obviously Ms. Collins was here this evening to speak to us, but from others in the community, they're wanting to know why, the board members have pushed back and not supported the grants for the walking trail and the health department, new health department. Specifically, the walking trail has been the most contentious, and so I want to afford all of the board members to, speak to why they're not in support of these grants.
I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
In July, I believe went over the budget, and y'all would put, at the last minute, y'all would put $100,000 in the budget for possibly this grant and some more stuff at the rec. We took that out of the budget, we voted against that. In August, I believe, they came and talked to us at the board about several grants. When they went over the walking trail grants, he said it was gonna be $40,000. At that time, I looked around, all y'all, and y'all had, we ain't gonna spend $40,000, look, I definitely wasn't. So, we was against it, the person doing the talking, Lindsay, I believe, or remind me. We said no, basically. I know you said I read your mind, but y'all were saying no. If anybody wants to go forward with it, my interpretation at the time was it was a no. We hadn't said anything else about it, and then I believe you started doing the grant again.
Well,
On your own.
it was already in process, and I just picked it up when I became chair. It is not
And-
40,000,
That's exactly what she said, it's a $200,000 grant, and.
it is 40,000, but our share would be
That's what I
20,000.
said, she told us it's $40,000, 20% grant on $240,000. It was a $40,000 amount of money to us. Now, y'all have came back after the fact and done some figuring around with other people giving money and doing stuff, but
No, I didn't change anything. The school, I believe, was involved from the beginning to create the cross-country event. So I picked up what was provided to me, so I was playing catch-up, in August.
it was dead.
Well,
And
we
the
did-
health department grant, we were still moving forward with the health department grant, as far as I know, we're waiting on them. The other reason we didn't go forward is because it was a deadline of November, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read your mind on the health department that night, so I
The
assumed.
health department, we said, yes, we wanna do
We
everybody.
didn't vote on anything, so
No, we
at the
didn't
end of
vote on
the,
it.
at the end of the day, let me say, it's 20,000. A large portion of that will be in kind for us. The school will be able to do in kind because their career in college can do the benches, the trash.
$20,000 worth of benches.
Well, it will be in kind, we verified that through discussion, so their contribution will be in kind. Ours will be a portion of in kind and funds. So it will be a minimal amount of money in terms of our investment for the walking trail. The vast majority will be covered by that $200,000 grant. So,
I just thought it had a match.
no, it's our portion is the 20,000. But initial discussions, you were in support of it, I don't know what
No,
changed.
at no point ever was I in support.
I'm just going off what was said by. our
In that
previous-
meeting, I'll say it in the meeting, we got minutes, I'm sure we can rewind the minutes.
It's fine.
No,
So
I mean,
we just,
no, it's
so,
clear.
so now
I
that
was
you
thinking-
know, it's 20,000 and it's primarily in kind. And that there is citizen, desire for this walking trail. Has that changed your mind in any
No.
way? Okay, so you're still not in support of
Because
something?
we said this in July, we said this in August, and you're continuing to push a project that we've said no to.
We didn't vote on it.
Well, let's vote on it.
Oh, and we can. So now, Mr. Weaver, do you have a position and why do you have
No.
that position?
Because I talked to a few of the people in my district, and they said that's a waste of time, because you catch a hard time to get people out there to the rec department. Nobody don't wanna go out there.
Okay, so, okay. Well, I want people to be on record as to where they stand on it, so I'm just asking you to go on record. Because when the email was sent behind the scenes, and no discussions were had with me, there was no reasons given, and so I want it on the record. Okay, so Nick, do you have a reason why you don't support it?
Well, speaking of the emails and going behind people's back, I have some 15 emails here between James Burgess, Dana Whitten, and various other people here, 15, then probably more. Not in one email was a single commissioner copy, not one email was Nick Denham, Joe Burgess, Alan Weaver, or Brad Calhoun involved in it. So, if you wanna talk about people going behind people's back doing stuff, I mean, the proof's in the pudding right here, I can tell
Well,
you.
those are SGRC emails, and I am the SGRC
You don't think
representative.
we should have been involved?
Not in the initial discussions with SGRC, it's no different than any other SGRC effort that we've had in the past. So,
In my almost 12 years, every grant that we have applied for came before this board. Robbie Royal has done it numerous times, the sheriff's done it, Dustin's done it. And do you want us to, I need your permission to pursue this grant. It never came to the board.
Well,
The
and
board has never,
I-
if y'all remember anything coming to the, it's not in the minutes.
see, and I thought in July, before I became chair, that we had this discussion and that we were moving forward, because, and then in August, we were updated. So I thought this was part of the process of moving forward. So that's how I was acting, was moving forward, believing that we were getting all those grants. And no one said otherwise. No one said, we're not doing this grant. So I took it to mean that this is just an update and we're moving forward. So I had no reason to think otherwise. Now, if you thought that that was not the case, I wish somebody would have picked up the phone and called me and said, Dana, we're not in support of this, we haven't voted, or whatever. I'd have said, okay, I misunderstood, but I believed, based on that August update, that there was support, because no one said anything to the counter. So,
Or to the positive, then.
but I took it because no one said we're not doing this, that was just an update. So, I had no reason to believe anything different. So, that's why I continue to pursue it.
There's some other things.
I didn't do anything wrong. I did what I thought was right, and that was the
Now, what the problem
process.
is, you did what you thought right, but it never come before the vote.
But
One
I thought
commission,
it had.
You thought, that's the problem, you thought.
But it was in August. We
You
had a
thought,
brief,
but anybody agree on it. Both commissions said no,
but they did not.
well, we saying no tonight.
Okay, that's fine, but why? Other
We
than
got to
just,
tell you what we stood with, no.
so you just don't wanna do it because you don't agree with the history behind it? I picked up something in an
I
effort to
think that-
carry forward
I think
something.
that-
I didn't do it maliciously.
I think that we have more pressing
Vote
needs
for discussion.
in the county for that amount of money.
For $10,000.
Other than, we're gonna be waiting on $10,000. Listen, the school board's not gonna budget. The development authority is not going to debt to, contribute to it, according to their board members and their.
No, they're not,
and-
because
and
I-
their, chairman, that was what was told to me, said, no, they weren't gonna do anything.
Well,
So
and they weren't
that's gonna
asked to
fall us
donate.
back. That's gonna throw us back to 40,000, not counting, you're talking about bringing the road department in to do a bunch of work out there. The road department ain't got time to do that. So that's gonna make you have to hire somebody to do all that work. Does anybody got an estimate on that from a?
We haven't got to that stage, Nick. We're just trying to get together the package to see if we even can be qualified. And the school has already gotten their information for in-kind. They're not having to put any money into it. I have not asked the Development Authority for any money. The only thing they've been asked for that I'm aware of is a letter of support.
I got a letter, email the other day from Mr. Burgess and you and Lindsay, I think. It was Chairman James Burgess, I believe, was on the email. I didn't know if that was still going on. But the act saying that the school's gonna do 20,000 in kind, building benches, we're doing 10,000, Development Authority's giving 5,000, and the citizens in the community.
That was an initial draft. That has to
Because
be,
that's what you're sending me.
but that's the initial draft that we I inherited, but in the discussions on the phone, in the SGRC meetings, it was all going to be a combination of in-kind and monies on the camera.
We all sent emails out a week ago telling you we were against this, and you were still.
No, I just want it to be on record because
It
I'm
was
getting
on
calls.
record 2 weeks ago.
It was not on the record
You
2
don't
weeks
reckon,
ago.
you
No,
don't, you don't
let's keep-
recognize, so
keep
we
it
don't have to
moving.
keep on discussing.
Okay, well, I just want the citizens to know why, cause it seems to me that it's all about,
Oh, you took it on yourself.
no, I picked up what was given to me.
I didn't give it to you.
I picked it up as chair. The previous chair was working it for the
I wasn't
board.
working it.
Huh?
I wasn't working it.
You weren't the previous chair.
I was the chair before you.
Yeah, you were the vice chair filling in for the previous chair. Okay, we'll move on. Okay. Item number 2, board members for the airport authority. We need new members for the airport authority. All of their terms have expired
Why do we have to have an airport authority?
because it's required.
By who?
Well, Chris County doesn't have one.
We don't have to have one but we have a charter that requires an airport authority. But somebody's gotta manage those funds because nothing is happening out there.
Eric,
I think Eric's in charge of that, as far as I know.
Well, his term has expired too, as has Ross's, as has, the other members of the board. So we
My
need a,
suggestion would be to let Eric have it. And he can keep us updated.
Mine too.
second.
we have a motion and a second to appoint what is he, the
Eric,
airport manager or what?
Well, same thing he is now.
We need to check to see if there's a requirement for the airport authority, 'cause there's a charter for it and a requirement. So I guess, Jay, what would be the issue with, how would we resolve that?
Got a motion on the table.
I realize that, Joe, but I need to make sure the authority isn't an issue legally.
So what we need to do is take a look at the local acts for Turner County and see what the actual language of it is, regarding the airport authority. I don't have the, most updated version in front of me right now, so I can't look it up. But I will look that, up, and I guess I would just say you guys may want to table that until the next meeting. And by then I'll have an answer for you on how you need to, resolve this as far as.
So next week we could actually pick it up.
Yes.
Well, this ain't voting, this part ain't voting anyway.
No.
This part.
No, but I just wanna make sure we don't have a conflict with the airport authority charter, so,
We do, we'll change the charter.
we will. But I don't know what it says off the top of my head. Okay, item 3 is removed. Item 4, discuss liquor license for Wani Lake. You should have the copy of the license in front of you. Latrice has notarized all this and they have met all the requirements, Latrice.
Yes, they have.
And so, next week we'll need to decide if we're going to approve this license. Anyone have any questions regarding this?
And Sheriff, if you had any issues? You had any?
This is a renewal of their beer license too. Alright, any questions, comments? No? Okay. Item 5, discuss bids for Turner County LMIG for widening, leveling, and resurfacing improvements for Denham Road and resurfacing improvements Jeanette, Jeff, Rick Avenues and Fire Tower Road. Any comments?
Dustin, I'm still confused. The East Coast is the low bid.
Yep.
About $30,000 probably, 19. But you say we got $740,000 left over from one and 711 left over from the scrubs.
So what that is when statewide came to do their averaging what the cost would be to put out for bids for that road. So the money we have, they put what normal cost would be before bids. And that's the number they put out for bids for all Rick and all the roads and then the widen them out. Well, when people come in to bid, they ain't gonna bid exactly on that number. Some are gonna be lower, some are gonna be higher. Well, with East Coast, they was bidding in low, which left $740,000 left over from the LMIG money we had for this year. And then Shrugs have $711,000 left over. So when they called and told me that's how much money we had left, we got to spend that out, I I told them to continue out on Denham, let's get to the city limits, give me a price what that would be. So he sent them out to the two lowest bidders for what their price would be on to finish out that road. So when they sent them, their bids back in for that, East Coast came back in at $373,960. Scruggs come back in at $331,969, which left over at that 740. We had left over for East Coast $366,548, and Scruggs still has left over $379,076. Scruggs just came in with cheaper materials for that extra length that we were putting in, and we still have to spend that leftover, whichever one you choose. We still got 300 something. We got all that concrete we can crush and not the rock. I say, I got them to cost out West County line, which is this bad, we put potholes up there every week. And that ain't to widen it, because it's a little side street, I'm only trying to widen the major highways. Just to level and resurface it. That should take every bit of that road resurfaced.
So in all this math that you got going back and forth, my Turner County education tells me that Scruggs is gonna be the lowest.
Scruggs, you have $13,000-14,000 left over more than you would with East Coast.
To do that other road.
Even though East Coast came in as the lower bidder, they just, when they sent out for the extra length, their prices was higher than Scruggs was, which left over that $13,000 more.
I thought the East Coast was gonna be the low bid, but this second paragraph.
I stayed on the phone with Statewide, they said that they went over the numbers 4 different times, and that's what they came
You
to.
let this down there.
Well, so what do you, is that what you gonna say?
Justin, we have a, 10% local leeway, so if somebody's got a local business here that if they're within 10%, we'll take their bid. You can vote either way on it, but I'm saying that's what
I don't have a preference, I mean, it's $13,000, that ain't much you gonna do with paving.
Well, East Coast is local, but also there's people that work for Scruggs that are local, so you got, their subcontractors are local too.
Any other comments?
I'm waiting on Dustin to give
I
one.
know, I want recommendation from you,
Yeah.
Dustin.
You know how mine was with East Coast about the problems we had in the past, but we ain't used them in a while, so I don't know much about if they still got the same issues that they used to have or not.
Well, I'm good with going East Coast again, but if you're saying Scruggs.
I know Scruggs ain't never had a problem. East Coast, I ain't heard nothing bad about them lately from anybody. So maybe all the problems back then we had with it could have been straightened out.
It's in your hands, my man. You the road superintendent.
Either one with me, I pick the lowest bidder, whatever.
who just gave us money.
Well, that's Scruggs, that is Scruggs, correct? You're not really wanting to commit here.
Nah, I'm saying, both of them be good, I just pick the lowest bidder, whatever the lowest one was, is the one I'd pick.
We can vote and do it.
All right, any other questions? No, thank you. All right, item 6, discuss dog kennels. Really, the issue before us is the land. The sheriff has asked us for use of that land, so unless someone has objections to him clearing that land.
I do not.
Can I say one more thing for y'all vote on that?
We're not voting till next week.
Oh, can I don't want y'all, I didn't want y'all to approve it or disapprove it or whatever without knowing that, where the arena is up there, we used to put cars up there that we seized or have been wrecks or stolen vehicles and stuff like that. We put them down there in our lot now, which is packed, and I would utilize that also to put those vehicles there, to get them out of the view, and I wouldn't have to fence in another area. I could just put a gate up at the end of that little path, and it's surrounded by woods and 2 creeks, so it ain't like I'd have to fence it in. I could put those cars back there, and if, I don't know if Squash can pay for something like the dog kennel thing because it's got a roof on it and a room on it, but I would, like I said, ask for any assistance if I can get some with funding that.
We used to have a commissioner's vehicle.
Who?
Commissioner's vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all did with that thing.
Well, I know what happened to that.
Okay, any other comments? No. So, now on to chair comments. The only thing I have is that, as chair, I will continue to be as transparent as possible, but I would ask that same courtesy from my fellow board members. I try to work with y'all. If you have an issue or concern, please pick up the phone. If you don't like something that has been accomplished or done, or you're confused as to why it's being accomplished, pick up the phone. Please do not go behind my back to other people. Just come to me and we'll talk about it. I think that we would save ourselves a lot of aggravation and frustration if you would do that. So that's all I ask. Is there any public comments?
I got a question.
Sure. Chair recognizes Mr. Lumpkin.
A former city councilman in town with Sycamore, I think, told me a day or two ago that they believe several years ago that they were applying for a grant through this SGRC, what we're talking about for the walking trail. That is correct, man. It's going through the SGRC.
It is going through SGRC, that's correct.
He told me that they were in the process of applying for it and they backed out. And they went back later to see about getting a grant for something else. And the commission told them, since you backed out this other one, that knocks you out of getting any future grants for anything else. Is that true? I mean, could that happen here, since we've already kind of made headway toward getting this grant for the walking trail, and we don't go forward with it? Is that gonna mess us up on any future grants? Does anybody, have y'all ever heard that?
I don't think it
I
had
don't
been.
believe it.
We ain't made nothing about getting it.
There's no submission has been made.
We haven't did it.
And I don't know how far they went with getting it, so, you know,
We ain't went nowhere.
I was just simply asking because this person told me that, you know, if this grant's dropped, it might affect future grants. You know.
Yeah, the deadline is 1 November to submit the grant, and the grant package is not went in. Cause it would require, a letter of commitment from the board in order to move forward. Now, I do know Austin Scott has, stated he would support it. I talked to Angie Osteen as well. So there is support in other areas, there are citizens that support it, but the board would need a letter of commitment for it to be submitted, and that's not gonna occur.
Yeah, well, if it don't go forward for this time, I'd really like to see this, you know, put into our county and utilized. I think it would be a great asset to the county. I know I got friends in other counties, I hear them talking about carrying their kids to Columbus and all these places to go to these, track meets where they run through the country and all, and if we could attract it to Turner County, that would be a win-win for us. I mean, can't get it this year, can we put it on the future to get it, maybe next year or two, see about it?
The city got one uptown,
Where's it at?
that line up with the cemetery, they put one up there with, Young Blood with the mill. It was right there. Yeah, walking trail right there.
I think it's closed, isn't it?
Nah, they know about it, they used a little bit, been there, walking trail, went right around that spot.
I thought the city said the other day that was closed, but
It might be, but they had one there, what I'm saying.
anyway, I just think y'all need to reconsider it, not for this year, maybe for next year or two. Anything to add to the value of our rec department and to give the citizens and something to do. And there's a lot of people, a lot of us are blessed to have woods to walk in, but a lot of people are not. So just think
Well,
about
now,
that.
I personally supported it because I saw it as a double benefit. It gave something to return to the seniors, as well as supporting our school and giving them the capability to host those tournaments, to expand their sports programs, because there's so many benefits to kids with sports. I mean, it's proven that there's academic discipline, there's opportunities for scholarships in those programs, but at the end of the day, it's a board decision, and obviously there's not support for it. I hope that changes going forward, but today there's not.
Yeah.
So.
Another comment,
Doesn't the school have a walking track?
We have a track around the track.
Is it open to the public?
No, I mean, it could be, but during the season, obviously, it's being used for different
So
purposes.
if y'all open that to the public, we'd have
We couldn't have
a
cross-country meets there. Yeah, so cross-country meets, we need at least 1.6 miles, which is one of the things that was in this design. So it wouldn't work for that purpose, it wouldn't bring other entities in outside.
And if you've ever been to a cross-country meet, there are tents everywhere, it's a huge event. Yeah, so anyway,
How long,
alright,
how long would this
do
track
we have a
be?
need for,
Ms. Smith, I've got another question.
is there any other public comments? Yes.
How long would this track be if it were to be put in at the rec department, the proposed track?
So, it must be at least 1.6 miles to comply with the cross-country needs. It needed to be, I believe 6 feet was what,
It's either 6 or 8.
6 or 8 feet wide, just in terms of space for the, cross-country needs. But that's the minimum requirements to meet the cross-country requirements.
And I got a comment from Mr. Calhoun too.
Okay,
You were talking about the lights for the school, the caution lights.
They were talking about a lot.
Well, we were talking about it, and you made a comment, isn't Rand Lake Sweden in the city?
It's also in the county.
It's also in District 4.
Yes.
Okay, remember that.
I'm very familiar where it's at, but we as a general rule don't put lights up. I just wanted to.
I think.
Didn't say I would be against spending money for the school
It should be the first time.
well, if you were against spending money against the school children, then you should have supported cross-country there. We'll move on. Alright, any other public comments? Okay, do we have a need for executive session? Jay?
Yes, I would be brief.
Okay, do I have a motion to go into executive session for personnel, litigation, and real estate? We have a motion and a second, all those in favor? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you could please exit the room, we'd appreciate it.
Hey, Gary, you didn't get a copy.
What's that?
You didn't get the copy.
65 days, brother.
You through.
Say it ain't so.
Ms. Rupp, what did I qualify for that?
That's closed session. They will come out of closed session and just adjourn, so we will not have it on video.